Uh, I've had a very interesting and exciting life. You know, I went in the army when I was 18, and I stayed 4 years. During that 4 years, I became a paratrooper, airborne, jumping out of airplanes. During that 4 year tenure, I had 72 jumps from an aircraft while in flight.
And still got good knees.
And still got good knees. And God blessed me to survive and not really ever have any injuries. I got a few scratches, but that was it. Jumped several times while I was in Vietnam.
Wow.
Spent a year in Vietnam fighting. God blessed me through my mother's prayers to come out of Vietnam healthy, still with the use of everything. And then I got to running around. I was leading a double life while and in church, or while and at church. I wasn't in church. A lot of folk go to church and not in church, they just at the church, and I was just at the church. But during that time, I did have some excitement in the fact that I managed several different singing groups.
Go ahead, boy.
I was able to take one of the singing groups all the way to the recording studio, and we recorded a record. Led by my first wife, which was Berta Mae Smith, which became Berta Mae Lockett. Berta Mae had 2 kids. Me and her never had any kids together, but she had 2 kids. And those 2 kids, Tony and Moosey, considered me their father. And all the way up until the last time I saw Moosey, she still regarded me as her father. Amen.
Gave me my first base.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Now, I went on to become a part of the ministry. And throughout my life, I've fathered 5 kids of record. Actually 6, but 5 of record. There is a second son that is kind of a twin to my son that I spent a lot of time with, which is Mark. Mark is married and has 2 kids. But the girlfriend that I had in the army in Kentucky at Hopkinsville had a son the same time my son Mark's mother, Geraldine, had her son. They both had children by me on the 19th of October in 1965. So, technically speaking, they are twins, but they just have 2 different mothers. Now, I also had a daughter who was kind of an odd situation. Her name is Marilyn. She's a mother. She's the daughter of a mother that we had a fling. That was it. Then there's also the 2 youngest children, Gabriel and Kasha. Now, their mother was thinking that I was going to marry her, so we had a romance into 2 children that were born, and she never got a chance to marry her Lockett. Also, I had a second wife named Joyce. Joyce Pegues, which became Joyce Lockett. Joyce had 3 kids. Neither one of them was mine. But that was Lynetta, that was Jarvis, and that was Melissa. But we had a good time for about 6 years, close to 7. And then that relationship was dissolved on a misunderstanding. I went on for, I went on for 13 years. But during that 13 years, I finally met another lady called Kathy Marie. She was Kathy Marie Ratliff. I met her with a gleam in her eye, and I courted her and dated her, and she made me wait 49 months. 49 months before we got married. Now that's 4 years and 1 month.
Wow.
It's a long time for any man to be waiting on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I was convinced that she was the apple of my eye. She was the desire of my dream. So I waited. We finally got married. Now, Joyce only had one kid, Shannon. And Shannon was a Ratliff. She married now. And she has 3 kids. So we got 3 grandkids there. All right. And then, well, that's it. You know, that's it. 35 and a half years in the ministry. I serve as an evangelist now. I have pastored some 7 churches. And I had an exciting pastoral career. Many, I can't even count the souls that were saved, but many souls that were saved. Part of my ministry included 11 years in the prison ministry, where we led dozens of people to Christ through the prison ministry. So I've had an exciting life. Nothing to regret, nothing to move on to. I'm retired now, enjoying the luxury of my veterans compensation and my Social Security, which started as Social Security disability, but when I got old enough, it became straight Social Security. So me and my wife, we live a pretty nice life. We're not rich, but we don't have no need to feel neglected by God, because we got a house to live in, plenty of food to eat.
Amen.
And we enjoy a nice, healthy church relationship. Next, there comes Jesse. Now, Jesse is something else. Jesse also spent some time in God's service as a called minister of God.
Amen.
But now, if truth be told, Jesse kind of backslid and from around back out there in the world, and never really ever got his bearing back. So a lot could be said there about his misuse and abuse of God's power, and now he might be suffering the consequences. Now Jesse had some kids. Yeah. I can't remember the oldest child's name. Can't even remember her mother's name right now, but that son lives in Louisville, Kentucky. Then he had a set of twins, Michelle and Michael. That was an Arkansas product that wound up in Chicago. So we know for a fact that just had 3 kids. And those kids got kids. So the clan, Jesse's clan, lives on. Matter of fact, Jesse is in Chicago, kind of close to a couple of his kids, and see them fairly regular. But that's about all I need to say about Jesse. Then there's the baby boy, Joe. He was Joseph W. Lockett, Joseph Washington Lockett. They called him Joe Baby. Called him Joe Baby because he was the baby. I think Mama figured out that I ain't gonna have no more kids, so I'm gonna name him Joe Baby. He is the baby, and that's it. Anyway, Joe went on to live kind of a double life. He had a golden gift. He could sing. He could sing good as anybody in this country.
Amen.
Matter of fact, he duplicated a lot of folks like Jody LaGun with the Mighty Clouds of Joy, and Robert Blair with the Violent Elves, and Clay C with the Pilgrim Jubilees. He even organized a group out of Virginia that could pantomime themselves behind the harmonizing folk out of Richmond, Virginia. So you could put Joe on a stage behind a curtain and he could imitate a whole lot of groups. So he went on to have a group of his own, and I don't know much about them because they were organized out of North Carolina and Virginia, and I never did get a chance to witness none of their singing. But Joe, after getting in a little trouble and spending a little time behind the bars, Joe finally came to Houston, Texas, where he met a beautiful lady named Jeanette. And to that relationship, Joe had a daughter. That daughter's name was Elizabeth Lockett, called the Peaches. Matter of fact, I got a chance to see her, Peaches it is, on December the 22nd, 2013. Got a chance to hug her and talk to her a little bit. And now I'm on tour of a long-range vacation, which is going to take in probably somewhere around 4,600 miles. I'm in Houston, Texas now, and this is December the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And I hope when you see this video, you will understand that the Locketts are a large family, filled with love, compassion, and fellowship. To each of you, whoever you are, when you see this video, consider yourself blessed by God to still be in the land of living. I say unto you in my closing, God bless you and peace be with you from now on.
Amen.
Amen.